I'm Michael DeNise, Director of Finance here at the Synod office, and welcome to Mike at the Mic, a way for our North Carolina Synod to reach out to all of our churches here in North Carolina. In this short video, we're going to look at what defined compensation really means.
The definition of defined compensation is the total of base salary, housing allowance, and Social Security allowance. Please note, recommendations for defined compensation are different for pastors living in a parsonage. Here's where you can find the recommended compensation guidelines. Log on to our website, nclutheran.org, look under Resources, then For Leaders. Next, click on Compensation Guidelines. As you plan for your pastor's compensation each year, you should check the guidelines as they may change. Guidelines are voted on by the Assembly every year at Synod Assembly. It is also recommended that, in addition to defined compensation, congregations make contributions on behalf of the minister for retirement and health care. The amount for retirement is recommended each year due to the cost of medical insurance.
Compensation guidelines have been around in the North Carolina Synod and across the ELCA and its predecessor bodies forever, really, certainly for the last 50 years, to try to help equalize compensation so that pastors could be mobile and follow the call of the Holy Spirit. They are guidelines, not requirements, but they're quite important in how we approach being the church. I know in North Carolina, the comparisons used to come up with those guidelines were for word and sacrament ministers, that was school principals. And for word and service ministers, the state guidelines for public school teachers. So we hope that you'll give serious consideration to those guidelines as you look toward calling a rostered minister in this church.
What is very important is ongoing communication. That is communication between the roster leader and the congregational leadership. Talk about what is fair. Is it adequate compensation? And do me a favor and break the silence. Now a quick review of what is defined compensation. Defined compensation is the minister's base salary plus the housing allowance plus the Social Security allowance. The retirement and health care coverage are in addition to the defined compensation. Let's say for defined compensation that your base salary is $40,000, your housing allowance is $20,000, and your Social Security allowance is $5,000. That's a total of $65,000, and that is what we refer to as defined compensation, and that is what your compensation will look like for your candidate. So ask yourself, what can you afford? Is it fair? Will it meet the needs of our minister? And if your offer is below guidelines, consider offering your pastor more days off each week or more vacation time. The Synod office has many resources here to help you. We have call process trainers, staff that will work with you on finding potential candidates, as well as our call process coordinator, Sandra Klein. Give me a call at 704-680-9562 or email me at mdenise@nclutheran.org. Thanks for watching and see you next time.